Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is InsideAgameR. Welcome back to OMSI 2. Welcome to a brand new map that was released earlier in the week. I did do a video on it, and this is Hohenkirchen. Probably said very differently in its proper language. So yeah, look, another route has been released from Helicon Media, and we did a video during the week, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I got a lot of criticism for not using the bus, a new bus that came with it. So two buses is the Man, which we got behind us here, and then we got this 18-meter Iveco. I'll just be honest with you, an Iveco is an Iveco. They never really changed to me, but it's nice. It's nice. It's not a new variant. We've got it in the company on BCS, and I thought we'd do some driving tonight. And we're going to start this evening with the longest route on the map, which is 47 minutes. So we're currently sitting in Gura Park in Nolsching, and we're going to be heading up to Hohenkirchen. So this is where I did the route the other day, a small little route. And I don't know whereabouts it went to, can't remember now. But yeah, so this is the full main route is available. Got the doors open, got people coming in. All things are good. Maybe turn the bus on. Good evening to everybody that is here. Good evening, Sean, the South Derbyshire Transport Enthusiast, hello. Michael Hadley, hello. What colour's my t-shirt? If it's blue, it's no good. Okay, 1 second, guys. I need to take my jumper off. I didn't realize how warm it was. Just 1 second. Oh. Quick change later, and we're all here. Let's hope we don't fail today. Yeah. So we did do OMSI for a couple of weeks because the CCS kept crashing. So we're just going to look at this map probably. I don't know if this is the last route of the day actually. I have a feeling it could be. If so, we might just do another run on a different map. We'll see how we go. What time are we due out? I think it's 1:30, isn't it? Yeah, 1:30 the hour. So we've got a little bit of time here. We've got 10 minutes actually. So let's fast forward the time. Move this to 29. I'll catch my breath back while we're waiting. Alrighty, everything's kind of set up nicely. DJ Joe, good evening. Hello, how are you? How is everybody? Oh, I feel better now taking my jumper off. I don't know, I was really cold, and then literally as soon as the lights come on, it's amazing when you got lights in your face just how much they heat you up. But anyways, we can shut these doors then. Actually, what I want to check is, are all three doors keyed to the keypad? Oh, bugger in hell. Okay, so the rear door isn't for me, so I'm going to have to press the button, and I... What's going on with that? Oh, it'll open automatically. Okay, that's fine, I think. Alrighty, let's get some lights on in the bus. All the lights that are available to go on. Should come into a nice evening. Kevin Graham, good evening. How are you, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you back. It's always nice to have people back. Oh, hang on. I put the lock on. My bad. Hey, sure, Maxwell. Cold night. Yeah, you know what? It's pretty cold here the last few nights now. Now I'm on the very west of Ireland, so generally we get a lot of daylight, and like even now it's getting quite dark already. It's very early in the year for us. And yeah, the last couple of nights have been really cold. I've actually nearly decided to put on like a winter blanket nearly. So if anyone hasn't seen this map yet, this is a very tight little map for the buses to have on it. We go up and down through the mountains and stuff, which is pretty nice. The performance is really good when what I played of it. So yeah, quite excited for this. Timetable's nice and tight. There was me praising its performance. the one time we get a tile like. Ah, bugger. My views are... There we go. Shit, 12 degrees. It's been hot and cold, bloody freezing. Yeah, it's very windy here, so like the wind is cutting through us at the moment. We've had a couple of storms. We've got a couple of storms due this week now as well, which is always fun in games. Very early for us to be getting our storms as well. We're very prone to them, but ah, you liking the new Van Hall? Yeah, I like the Van Hall too. Yeah, I feel like this year's just gone super fast. Like, if we go back to like a year ago, it felt like the year was like so slow. And it's like we were going so slow motion during COVID, been stuck in, that now that we got freedom, like time's just zipping by. It's really weird. Like, I feel like I just blinked and now it's Christmas. Drink time, I will drink to that. I'm on the dark fruit cider this evening. It's alright, nothing special. Might find performance a little worse because of the bus. I've noticed driving the map with the bus, performance is a little studs. Oh, is there? Nah, I don't mind a little bit of stuttering. Nothing can be like London. Hey, ladies and Jordan, good evening. Yeah, I was making a train scenario today for the Glasgow airport route with the new 385. I was hoping to get it finished today, but I didn't. Hey, collisions are off. Drink driving. Ah, you know, drink driving there's an art to it. And I'll be honest with you, in this map, I wouldn't be worried with collisions because traffic is very low, because they're quite extreme, the corners and stuff. Is this middle door taking the piss out of me or something? What's going on here? Ah, you only have to press it once and it does all the doors for you. My bad. All these stupid safety systems, who needs them? Hey, you just ate a biscuit. What kind of biscuit? My favorite is those, the hobnobs, but the ones that taste like sticky toffee pudding. Really into them at the moment. Fox biscuits. You know, I don't like Fox biscuits for the fact that the only time I've ever had them was when you buy those big tins at Christmas, and they've been around for a little while, and you think, they'll still be okay, and you eat one, and it's like stale as fuck. Like, that's my memory of Fox biscuits. Oh, nice. So do you get free cookies? I mean, there has to be at least one perk to the job, right? So the doors are automatic, they open and close themselves. Oh, kebab. I hadn't had a kebab in ages. What did I have? I've completely forgotten what I had. Oh, I didn't have anything fancy. I had I had beans on toast, but I had had some cheese, some fried mushrooms, and a couple of fried eggs on top as well. Like, you gotta have beans and toast. It's gotta be done properly. Waffles, bacon, egg, and beans. Oh, we're close. Yeah, I'm very cute. I love beans on toast, but I like I put the cheese on the bottom, grate the cheese, put it on the bottom, put the hot beans on top, cover it with fried mushrooms, loads of salt and pepper, and then a couple of fried eggs on top of that. Oh, I love mushrooms. I could eat mushrooms all day long. When I lived in Australia, some of the mushrooms I got to taste there, I've never been able to taste ever again though. Like, it's very hard to get good quality mushrooms over here. And it's surprising because Ireland is so wet and horrible all the time. You'd think we'd be a great consumer for growing mushrooms. Okay, passenger, there's a bus right on the... Okay. We're calling the police. Apparently they're coming right here, right now. So yeah, if I'm just having beans on toast with a bit of cheese on top, yeah, the cheese has to go on top. But if you're having the mushrooms and the eggs, the cheese goes on the bottom. It's so hot, it all melts nicely, it all just mixes in. But yeah, I love mushrooms. Love mushrooms. Used to get that all the time. The Chinese get the egg foo young, could get like the mushroom one. Oh. Glenn Dixie, OMSI, what's new? I haven't done OMSI in a while, to be honest with you. It's been about 2 weeks since the last time I did OMSI. But a new map, so yeah, requires a new stream. Hey, Huron, good evening, how are you? Nice to see you back. You could only wish for a new OMSI. You don't like curry sauce? What is wrong with you? You can't have Chinese. You can't have any kind of egg fried rice, chow mein without a bit of curry sauce on the side. So what's the perks of a bendy bus? Just passenger limit really. You get 128 passengers on a bendy. That's about it. That's your perk. driving stance wise, the only thing that makes them better for me than some of the buses or coaches like the triaxles and stuff is the pivot point is so high up. It's got a lot better turning accuracy, all those other kind of things. Because it pivots, this is the axis that it turns in. When, say, if you have like a long coach, you know, the turn point is basically your rear axle. So that you can't have double deckers because of bridges. You're in busy cities, this is your only option really, especially if the roads are a bit tight. They're actually easier to do corners than some buses, to be honest with you. But like here, even in real life, you know, you'd assess the situation. If I know that this is a tight corner as a bus driver, I'd be sitting like this on the road. You're allowed to take up as much of the road as you wish, as long as you do it safely. So as long as I don't leave a gap either side, so cars can go in and out, as long as I'm, you know, taking control of the road, then this is no harm. And a corner like this, I probably would, because you can see there already, there's a bus there now. It's quite a tight divot in for me. So you got to drive it like you would real life, really. So, you know, you take it as wide as you want, because you have control of the corner. No one's going to come in your inside, outside lane. All these corners, this is how I'd be driving. You got to do it a lot in London. Got to take control of roads and stuff. Well, yeah, unlike real life, you do get the AI just drive through you, which is always fun. I wouldn't worry about mocks. Mocks don't mean anything. As long as you put it all together at the end. From what I learned, college takes anybody in. Just don't always get the courses you want. Sometimes you have to take something a bit different, but... Oh, well, if you want to be a bus driver, you don't need nothing. I'll tell you how the interviews go in a bus driving depot. Can you drive a bus? Yes. Okay. You go out for 10 minutes, do a few circles, and they pull you back and they say, okay, you got the job. It's that easy. You don't even have to be customer focused really anymore. But obviously, you just say the right things. You get asked one question as a bus driver, and there's one main question really. And is, what is the role of a bus driver? They all ask this because people can say all kinds of weird stuff, but what is your role as a bus driver? It is the only thing that is your role, and the only answer to the question is, and you're guaranteed to get in, is to safely get your passengers from A to B. That is it. That is your role, to safely get your passengers from A to B. There is no other answer to that question. If you go online, anyone that's gone for Stagecoach first, any of them kind of companies, that's what they all ask. What is your role as a bus driver? And that's the only answer. Yeah, actually, Glenn, I was watching that video of yours earlier from this 10-cent thing. What a load of bonkers that is. Well, yeah, that's the other problem, Glenn. They do take a drug and piss sample, so yeah, you have to be off the wacky backy for 6 weeks, but you're fine afterwards. Once you're in, you're in. They say they randomly drug test you at any point, but they never do. I think I've been drug tested once, and I was only with National Express actually. They did used to in the morning with the drivers at the Heathrow depot. The controller used to just randomly pick someone for a sample, but yeah, very rare. To be fair, I miss the days of school. If I could go back, I would do it so differently now. Yeah, well, whoever you work for, I mean, you never know, you might spread your wings, you know. See, bus driving to me, how I actually fell into it, it wasn't because I love buses. Now, I was always brought up around buses. My granddad over here in Ireland had a small little bus company set up. He did a lot of runs with the schools and bits and pieces, and there was always buses. And all my uncles and stuff, all were bus drivers. And we were brought up around the buses, but I didn't actually turn to bus driving until maybe I was 23 at the time. No, hang on. 24. And I just needed a career change from what I was doing. I won't go into what I was doing before, but yeah, I wanted something that would be a bit more friendly on the hours to what I was doing, something a bit, you know. And the only other thing that I really ever had interest in is not the bus itself, it's just the freedom. You know, you just sit here, no one bothers you as a driver, you go out, you drive your route, you go home, happy days. Like, there's no stress, there's no deadlines, there's no, you know, any of this other crap that I was dealing with before. And just taking all that weight off my shoulders. Now, the only thing that didn't change was the hours. The hours actually, in a way, came worse. Because bus drivers, you know, you have to work days, middles, and nights. You know, you don't get a choice. You're on rotation, and it is what it is. The only thing that really put me off bus driving, and the only thing that is the worst thing, is most companies like National Express, Stagecoach, First, any of the big corporations, because you have so many employees, when they do holidays, you're on a rota system. So you get a week in the spring, you get 2 weeks for summer, and you get a week in the winter. Now, it's done on a rota, so every 5 years you rotate. So you if you want to go away on certain dates, you have to swap with somebody else. And it's an absolute nightmare to get the holidays you want. And like sometimes, like your spring one could be, say this year could be the first week of January. Like, who the frig wants a week off the first week of January? Like, that's when all the you know, the overtime is really, because of Christmas, bank holidays. Like, you're getting double paid days, and you got to take a week's holiday. And then obviously the winter ones can be from the last week of September then. And that is the one thing that they never tell you, is the holiday is on a rota system. Every 5 years, you circulate your system. So you know your holidays for the next 10 years in advance. Say if you wanted to, you know, book a holiday to America in 4 years' time, you know exactly where you're going to be in 4 years' time. But it is the worst thing ever, because if you do want something, you have to swap. And trying to get people to swap, especially if they say senior drivers or any of this other crap, and say if you've got the worst week of the year, it is friggin' difficult to get rid of it, I'll tell you that now. Absolutely ridiculous to plan anything or do anything you want to do. I mean, same with your rota. Once you get a rota, you know your rota for the next, you know, 10 years of your life. as long as you stay on the same rotor and they haven't changed it, obviously, or you know, some depots have different rotors for different routes depending on what they need. Some depots you might only get one route and that's it, you're based on that one route. I remember when I first worked for First, I was on the 702 Green Line into London from Slough. You know, I didn't get to do any of the city driving in Slough. I was going from Bracknell to London, Bracknell to London, London to Bracknell, Bracknell to London, and there was like 20 routes in that depot at the time, but that was what I was assigned to, and that's what you get. So yeah, look, there are benefits to the job. No one bothers you, there's no hassle, it's easy going. Passengers aren't a problem unless you make them a problem, you know. Overtimes are worth it now. People forget when you're on the road for, you say, one of my shifts, say when you got middles, which are the worst parts of the days, you might start at 9:30 in the morning and you don't finish till 8:30 at night. Like, that amount of time on the road is very tiring. It's not as easy to just, like, you know, oh yeah, full of energy, I'll do that. You're also restricted by regulations on what you can drive. Now, is overtime worth it? Depends on your circumstances, because once you get past a certain threshold, remember, you start paying more tax, so you're making less money per hour. Is it worth it? Probably not. In my opinion, I don't tend to rarely ever do overtime. The main times I'm doing overtime is maybe if I'm building up to a holiday or something, or I don't know, maybe there's like an event on and there's some different runs or something that I can do. Just, you know, I do the odd day, but generally, you know, you get 2 days off a week. You can only realistically, now depending on the style of driving you work for. Now, if you're doing city work, yeah, you can work 6 days a week every week. But say if you're doing cross-country work and you're on the tacho, you know, you can only realistically do 1 day of overtime per 2 weeks. So it's not really beneficial, in my opinion. And like I said, then once you start thinking about getting tax and stuff, like, I'd rather have my day off to refresh and recharge, because for the week ahead, then, you know, you're quite busy on the roads. I'm not trying to put you off then bus driving or anything like that. Like, it's a great job, it has its perks, but there are definitely some more the negatives. The biggest one for me was the holiday rota system. Like, if I never knew that was going to be the way it was going to be until I was in the job. And then I thought maybe was it just this one company, but then it ended up being every company that I worked for, this was their system, apart from small companies. Now, small companies that might have a couple of routes, different equation. You know, you can nearly get holiday whenever you want, as long as you give them notice, kind of thing. Okay, so how bus driving routes go. So, like, depends on the depot. Like I said, say if you're doing city work for First and you're in the city only, there might be 2 rotors for that driving. Okay, so say if you needed, I don't know, 60 drivers, 30 on each block, which is a block of 30 lines, and then basically you just rotate your line. You drop a line every week and it rotates. That's how it works. If you are a junior driver and you're in the door, and if that line needs to be filled, you get put on it. You get allocated it. If you want it or not, if you want to do that driving, it doesn't matter if you want that route, you're given it. That's it. You're given it. Here you go. And like I said, when I worked for First, I didn't know that I was going to be doing the 702 Green Line. I thought I was going to be doing a mix of everything. I thought that would be fun. Now, First was my first job. And I thought, oh yeah, it'd be great. I'll have a big mix of whatever I want to do, and yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Like, at least it'll change every day, kind of thing. I got in the depot. I passed the training that you have to do for a week, and they were like, okay, you're now on the 702. Here's your rota. Off you go. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you know, you're a junior driver. This needs to be filled, so that's your job. So I was on the 702. To be honest with you, the 702 wasn't too bad, because you got the London side and then you got the Bracknell side. Now, you know, Bracknell was kind of like country driving in towns, and then London is London, you know, fucking shithole. No, rush hour in London or in the morning and the evening, you know, you could be 3 hours on that bus just going 10 miles. Is it enjoyable when you need a piss? Absolutely not. You do so much dancing on the chair, it's unreal. So yeah, look, it depends on the kind of depot. Now, small depots, like I said, yes, you'll get given what you're given. Now, every depot has a rotor called a spare rotor. Now, the spare rotor basically, freaking out, is my bus going down there? Oh, it's going in here. So basically, you're spare, so you don't have any assigned duties. So say if there is holidays or sickness, you cover them jobs that day. So that is a bit more flexible. So we have spare rosters now in our depot, say, and I've driven this completely wrong way around. How is she supposed to get on the bus? I'm supposed to have stopped first. Or we'll just pretend we did that. So say you 6 o'clock spare. I'd come in at 6 in the morning and I'll sit there. I have to stay to at least 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But any point up to that point, if someone's phoned in sick, I get their shift automatically. So I could be in at 6 in the morning. Someone hasn't turned up for the middle shift at 9:30. All of a sudden, I'm now at work until 8:30 at night because this person didn't turn up. Yes, I get paid the extra hours, but they're big long days. But that does give you more flexibility in the job. There's always a spare roster. Generally, senior men have them because there are days, you know, you can sit there and you can get out after 3 or 4 hours. If there's loads of spare drivers, the most senior gets to go home, and you know that kind of rotation system happens. So yeah, it literally depends on who you work for. It literally depends. Someone that's like just a local town supplier, yeah, you know, you're going to get a mixed bag of routes. You know, you'll probably end up having to do all of them. You have to learn all of them. Even when I worked for Slough, like even here in Ireland or anywhere, you know, National Express, you learn all the routes no matter what. Okay, and just like that, someone's had a heart attack. Route learning, how it works is very simple. So your first week of the job, or 2 weeks depending on the routes, you go out and you learn the route. Depends, everyone learns differently. I'm more of a driver learner, so I would just tend to say, okay, you'd go out with, say, the trainer, or some companies send you out with other drivers. They called it like a buddy system. Hang on, I've got to call the ambulance. And within that, apparently we've got to stop here too. With that buddy system, you just go out for the day with a driver, and you know, you take notes and write down the route. It's very easy to route learn. It's not hard at all. Some people will take notes. Some people might draw. There is another option. Some people, there's an app on your phone that's like a GPS that you can follow around. It's not so nice, but trust me, you learn routes. You do them once and you'll never forget them, you know. No, my depot now has, all in all, I think it was 23 routes, and everybody learns them. Even if you only want to do city driving or cross country, like I have to know how to do the city work, and they have to know how to do my work, depending on holidays and rotations and things like that. Some people don't like coach driving. Some people rather sit in the city, you know, ding, 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 stopping every 10 seconds. Like for me, I'm more of a coach driver. I prefer, you know, my main route at National Express was London Heathrow to Cambridge and back every day. I love that run. M25 can be a bit of a balls. It was better than doing 4 Gatwicks in a day. Going Heathrow to Gatwick 4 times in a day. Ugh. But yeah, everyone has a different kind of style of what they like to drive. Some people prefer the open road, putting your foot down. Some people like the city routes because they get home more on time, or, you know, generally these kind of little things get put into it. First needs, they train you with a mentor of 3 easy routes, then put you on what you call a baby rower. Yeah. It's not necessarily about being easier. To be honest with you, smaller operations can be worse. And the reason why I say that is, when you phone in sick, everyone thinks you're an absolute bastard. because like there's no one to cover it. When you work for big corporations like First, Arriva, Stagecoach, like I said, the spare roster which they have is there to cover sickness every day, and it's never a problem. To be honest with you, I think you get looked after better in bigger depots than small depots. Now, I've worked for private hires. When I first moved to Ireland, I used to do the day guiding to the Cliffs of Moher. So every day we'd go to the main station, we'd pick up a busload of tourists, and we drive down to the cliffs, and you guide them while you're driving. And the guy I worked for was an absolute nut job. And he would have me, like, I'd be coming back, and then all of a sudden he'd be like, oh, I've got no one to do this, you have to go out there. You have to go out to the other side of the country now. Or, there'd be no notice to do anything. Oh, tomorrow you're doing this. And I could be driving up and down the road, staying anywhere in some dodgy bloody hostel or whatever. Smaller companies, to me, I would stay clear, especially if you want to get into it. I think you'd enjoy it more in a bigger company. And like I said, if you want to be sick, you don't feel so bad phoning in sick. You want your holidays, you're more likely to get what you want or swap with somebody. When you're in that smaller operation, it's whoever's the seniorest will get everything. Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you, when I do city work, I put my earphones in and I listen to podcasts. Like, I don't even hear the dings, I just see the light on the dashboard pop up. But, when you do city work, especially if you're in busy cities, you're nearly picking up at every stop. Or once you've done the route a few weeks, you know the timings of people. You know that this man's going to be there at this time every day, he's going to work, It's never a big deal, like... I don't hear the dings. I just have the podcasts. No, I'm still not back to work yet, believe it or not. But that day's getting ever so close now. Finally, they're going to let me back, I think. It's not work that are not letting me back, actually. It's the doctors still. But my case is nearly over with. Fingers crossed. We're waiting on the last thing to come in now, and yeah, hopefully we start getting the okay to go back. Now, I don't know will I go back bus driving, I'm going to be honest with you. For a lot of negatives that I put in there. I feel like I might try something a bit different after this. We'll see. The only problem I have with bus driving as well is I get fat. And I say that because, you're always eating, drinking coffees, you're not eating properly. Because your shifts, like, 1 week you're on earlys, next week you're on lates, your body clock's all over the place, you're not eating properly. So then, like, you might have a 35-minute break in town. What are you going to do? Of course, you're going to walk to McDonald's because it's easy and it's cheap. Are you allowed to listen to music and podcasts? Look, there is funny rules with that. And it generally comes down to the company you work for. Now, most companies will say no. But you are allowed to put your earphone in one ear, not both ears. So you can have it in one ear for, say, like your hands-free. A lot of, like, our depot here, if you're in the city, they can communicate with the buses. Some of the buses don't always work. But if you're out cross-country and stuff, they don't work. So if the controller needs to call you to say, okay, there's been a big crash on the motorway, avoid it, take a different route or whatever when you're on the coaches, they'll call you. So, like, we're allowed to, and even in the city buses here, they don't not allow it. As long as you're not sitting there obviously driving on your phone, you can't be doing that obviously. But every company has their own rules. They'll all tell you just don't touch your phone while you're in the cab, whatever. They always tell you to leave it in your locker, that you never get assigned. They say, your phone must be in your locker all day, bollocks. You can put an earphone in and yeah, you can listen to something, you know what I mean? No one's going to say anything. But it is a funny line, like I said. National Express I worked for didn't mind it. Some of us would have to use it for Google Maps even, because, like, say if there was a diversion, or like I said, they'll call me up and say there's a big crash, you need to find a new route. Google Maps, put my earphone in, and you got Google saying, take the next right, you got no choice. You don't want to play it on the bus because you don't want to seem like you're that stupid. But yeah, most companies will say no, but once you're in there a couple of weeks and you kind of get to know what everyone does, that's fine. I haven't worked for a company yet that have been like, no, you can't do this, it's illegal. Whitbread Bonnie, good evening. I've just realized my alerts are the old alerts. We need to change that quickly because I don't like the pinging. I need to change it back to my bus alert. There you go, that's better. A white red. Sorry. Screen's a bit far away. Look, some people will tell you it is illegal. Like, yeah, you know, you're not supposed to drive with your phone, but if you're at a bus stop and you've got a couple of minutes wait and your handbrake is on, never did any harm. But yeah, it's a bit narrow down here. Spanish? Oh, I used to know how to say some naughty stuff in Spanish. But yeah, no, I've got no Spanish, I'm afraid. I think we're going into Bay 1 where he is. What's the best bus country to drive? It depends on what you want to do, mate. Like I said, it's very dependent. For me, National Express was my favourite. It was the kind of work I liked doing, the hours, because the runs I got given every day. The people I worked with, the team controllers were probably the best controllers I've worked for. They were so kind. Like, if you needed anything or needed a day or, you know, needed to get home for a certain time for, say, I wanted to go watch the football or something, like, they'd always bend over backwards to try. I've worked for some companies where, like, you say, look, I need an early finish. I've got the bloody dentist or something. They're like, no, no. No, no, or, you know. But yeah, it depends. You know, it depends on, you know, you'll just got to try some. Some people always have this dream of driving buses in London. They get into London and think, wow, what a shit show this is. Why do I want to do that? Oh, where does she come from? She literally came out of nowhere. So, you know, you'll get into a company and very quickly you'll know if it's for you or not. I don't know. I'd say you still have to be 18. I think you still need to have a car license because you got to move the buses around, I think. Now, all depots are different because it's on private land. But yeah, I know. I'd say most of the depots that I've worked in, definitely at least 18 with a car license, I think. And then they teach you how to move the buses and park them. I mean, you can drive a car, you can drive a bus anyways. Some, I think you can be younger though. Like sometimes you're just paired always on shift with someone, like you'll probably do end up more the cleaning and they do the moving. Dirty job though. Okay, I think I'm on the right hand side here. Ah, this is where I started the other day. Yeah, I mean, you go in and ask. That's all you can do. They probably wouldn't say no. Only when you do work experience and stuff. They'll put you out on the day, like on the buses and stuff, probably. We used to get some work experience people. They used to just sit on the bus with us all day talking to us. There's not much else they could do. They just used to drive around on the buses. If you don't know anyone in there, I'd probably just email their like contact email. And they'll generally go to a manager or something pretty quickly. Yeah, like I said, they'd only pay your drivers that they know that would be kind anyways, so... I remember my work experience. I grew up in a pub. My mum and dad owned pubs, so I lived all my life growing up as a pub. One of the bar staff was a manager of a travel agent, so I just didn't want... I didn't know what I wanted to do, to be honest with you. And she was like, oh, why don't you just come in with me for the week? And I just had 2 weeks off school. I didn't go in once. So yeah, that was my work experience. Told you, if I could go back, I'd probably do things a little differently. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, just say you've been in. Alright, happy days. Spent 2 weeks at home. I think GTA 3 was just released on the PS2 maybe. crap, somebody wanted to get off there. You'd be down in the depots. Well, how they were ours, they're always down in the depots, and they'd be just standing there waiting for the driver to come in, whoever that might be. And then you just take them with you. That's just my experience of having people that have been on work experience. I don't know what they're like these days. Like, I've lived in Ireland now for quite a while, and like the ones that we do get here, like I said, they just put them out on the buses all day with us. So, you know, they might have you in the office doing bits and pieces as well, filling up, going down to the main office, filling up flyers or whatever, and stacking all the paper rolls for the ticket machines, and messed that up. They'll have you doing all kinds of odds. Hey, stay safe. Food will be here soon. Alright, no worries, mate. Thanks for popping in. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. Enjoy your food. What are you having? In the depot you would. On the buses, most probably wouldn't. No, they'd come in for the same time every day. So say like it was your school hours, 9 till 3 or whatever. And they'll put you out of a driver, whoever's going out next. And you might swap a few buses in between. They might just tell you, you know, hop on and hop off. And then once your time's done, they'll just go home. Like I said, no idea what it's like over there. I don't know, you know, it could be completely different. But here they're very easygoing. Ah, no worries, mate. You don't even go pick up your own groceries, Sean. How lazy is that? Can't do that here. They charge us a fortune to get delivery here. Alrighty, this is the last stop of this route. So that's the whole route. We're 6 minutes behind. That's not bad. This route is very tight. Let's have a look. I've already got permission, so I'm not too worried about it. Go back to the office. Timetables are an issue. Yeah, it's just a little too tight. The short route was all right if you had your foot down the whole way and like on all the bends and stuff. But yeah, it's a little bit too tight. Now I got someone to do it for me. I don't like shopping. Here it costs a lot more than that. Unless you live in the town. If you live in the town, you're alright. What's my bonus mission for today? Newcastle. See, I do lots of them. Is there actually any more routes on this map? I have a feeling it could be it. Oh no, there's a few more. Alright, we'll do this one. Absolute no idea what bus to drive. Oh, we could take the man out. I haven't painted it yet, though. Oh, no, I did, didn't I? I put it in blue, but I haven't fixed the backwards roof yet. Oh, Gary is not available. You think Manuel win at the weekend? Oh, we're playing 8 o'clock on Saturday night, aren't we? We've got Burnley. We need to. To be honest with you, I don't think we were that bad against Bayern Munich. I mean, the goals we let in were bad, but like they didn't give up. If we hadn't think about it, that penalty was pretty tight, to be honest with you, and obviously the error, the real big error goal. You know, it would definitely, you know, it could have been a draw. We were actually on top until we let in that stupid goal, and then we fell apart. We do looks like Amrabat and Varane and Mount train this week, so they might feature tomorrow. Yeah, I think we can win. We bloody need to. Oh, the Iveco pop coach thing. Yeah, I completely forgot about our bus. What paint is that in? That must be in the old green, isn't it? Catch you later. Hey, Callum, Enviro 200. Hello, how are you? Best color for a bus is red. See, I like white, but it has to be clean all the time. Buses we used to have were red. They've now changed to green and yellow here. So I think what's the best color? I don't know. Some of the first ones, I used to like that kind of purpley color. Yeah, you got to keep up with the times. Okay, so what are we doing? Friday, circulation 9? 1940. Happy days. Where is my timetable? Wee. Okay, so we're the 849 to Sudenhof. It's a good start when I don't see it. Uh-oh. Ah, there it is.
Guten Abend.
Okay, actually, we're not out of here till 40, are we? Train's 15 minutes late. Ah, at least it's coming. Could always be worse. There could be hundreds of answers for you there, Imran. But none of them are going to be enough for you. Absolutely hate the camera angles on this bus. In the UK, the train should run weekend trains 24 hours a day. Can't afford it though, don't make any money. Trains are too expensive these days anyways. These people complain too much. Yeah, this is a good little freeway bus, to be honest. The stuttering's making it a bit hard for me to drive it, though.
Hallo.
I think Train Sim World is toxic just because most people just dislike Dovetail. Like any of their streams they've been doing for the upcoming, like you just see people just giving them crap. I don't blame them. I don't think there's been enough of Train Sim World 4 for my liking. Same Unreal Engine, same stutters, same graphics. They've added some clouds. They're fluffy now, I think. I don't know why I keep looking that way. I mean, I don't mind that Train Sim 4 came out, but I don't think it's worth the price. Like, I've not gone out of my way to get it. Well, not a million years. I don't really... I've got no interest for the other routes, the American and the German route. I mean, I'd try them just because I'd have them, but you know... And the UK route, I'm not that fussed about. 802 is just basically the Javelin just rehashed. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's on the web disk, but I'll send you the link. You brought it, did you? I mean, the only one I'd be interested in is the Flying Scotsman, but like, you have to buy the full package just to get that, so yeah, that ain't happening. Like I said, not enough in it for me. I'll wait for the end of year humble bundle when there's a big sale on or something, maybe, I don't know, Christmas sale maybe. Like, I watched a few videos, no, I didn't really watch them, I kind of run over them, and a lot of people were, most of the people that were streaming it were just complaining. Sounds weren't right. I'm not being funny, even the 800 up and down the line, it just looked empty, it looked so dead. I think that's the problem with their routes. They're just... It's always just that one train. Yeah, it'd have to be a good sale for me. The only thing that would obviously change things depending on what routes might come next. I mean, the Just Trains route, I'm not that interested in either, to be honest with you. It's even the Pacer, I'm not, you know, it's not my favourite train going. I can live without the Pacer, so I don't know. Like I said, it had to be something that piques my interest. Yeah, it's a funny old part of the route. Like I said, I can live with or without that, to be honest with you. Is this going all the way back? Yeah, it must be. I mean, the Just Trains route, Just Trains have always been quite expensive, so it'd be quite interesting to see the pricing of that. I think it's going to be quite an expensive route. You want me, love? Don't get me wrong, I think that route probably looks nice. I've seen a few pictures that have popped up. I'm not particularly familiar with the area, so that doesn't help. Yeah, I could just see it being pretty high on the price scale. Ah, well done, Michael. Yeah, it's a nice little bus, this.
Warum fahren Sie so schnell?
I just realised I made a mistake. I've just come back round on myself. Oh, what a donkey. Yeah, so we started here. Whoops. We'll just pretend that hasn't happened. What did it say? Oh no. It's done some stupid thing and I can't see what it's done. Seven minutes. Oh no, because I'm gonna be forever late now. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll leave there for this evening. So yeah, we've had another look at this, done the longer route. It's a nice little map, this, actually, to be honest with you. It's a bit short. You get obviously the Iveco and the man with it. I mean, I suppose you get the 50-minute route, but yeah, maybe a couple more routes would have been nice for the price, but it is what it is. Thank you for everyone that has joined us this evening. We'll be back on Sunday. I believe we're doing racing. I'm going to try some VR racing on Sunday. See how we go. It could be an absolute disaster. I'm not very good at the racing anyways, but I'm going to try and do it as well in VR. Any of you have Assetto Corsa and want to come join us, you're more than welcome. Just let me know in Discord. We have our own little championship going on. So yeah, we'll probably do that Sunday. Fingers crossed for Man United tomorrow. We need a win. And yeah, other than that, thank you to all of you guys as always, and I will see you Sunday. Bye for now.